Tell me what you want, tell me what you want. Tell me what you want, tell me what you want. Tell me what you want, tell me what you want, tell me. Santa Claus on a Saturday night, got my lipstick on, girls dressed to the nine. Exclusive party, but we got the invite. Olives in the Grey Goose, make it dirty alright. Metal to the metal, make it dirty alright. Loving in LA, make it dirty alright.
Dear Diary, this is my first ever entry, so let me tell you about myself. My name is Chillax, but everyone calls me Chill. I'm a Cancer, and aside from me being fabulous, I'm a great dancer and an okay cook. The main thing anyone needs to know about me is that I love horror. My favorite horror movie of all time is Jeepers Creepers. So anyway, seeing as how the craziest thing happened to me the other day, I figured it would be fitting to start writing these things down. So the date was July 21st, 2020, and I started my day like any other. A shower, an episode of my favorite show, and a bowl of apple cinnamon oatmeal. Oh, and I forgot to mention it was storming outside, and in the midst of admiring the crash of loud thunder, I was abruptly interrupted by the sound of my cell phone ringing. Yo, hello? Hello? No one said anything. There was just an eerie sound of silence and the occasional heavy breathing. In anticipation, I waited for a response, but I never heard anything. So I just hung up. So anyway, I wanted to go to the bookstore to see if I could find my favorite Stephen King's novel, The Shining. My other one got wet in the tub. And hit the store to get some popcorn and M&Ms because while reading, I always need a snack, and these are my favorite. So I grabbed my keys, my bag, and set the alarm and headed out. As soon as I stepped outside, I opened my umbrella and started walking up the street since the bookstore was a couple of blocks away. The sky was gray, the wind was howling, and I felt like I was the only person in the world. Except when I looked straight ahead, I noticed a strange figure standing completely still underneath the big oak tree. Who in the world is that? I kept walking, not really scared, more so curious. Being that I never saw him around here before, I know everybody on my block. I didn't want to stare and be rude and obvious. So as I was walking by, I said, "Beautiful weather we're having today, huh?" I heard nothing. Well, okay then. As I took a quick look at this rude stranger, he stood about 6'5", almost 7 feet tall. He had his head down with long stringy hair and a thick beard. He was wearing a long dingy yellow overcoat with no umbrella, but only a hat. He was just standing there getting soaking wet, and he looked like something out of a horror movie, or like something out of my wildest dreams. I hurried up the block, I was not playing, and when I got to the top of it, I looked back and he was gone. I went to step off the curb to cross the street. All of a sudden, a black cat jumped at me and ran past my feet. And at the same time, a car drove by, almost hitting me. Then they hit their horn. "Watch it, you idiot!" I had to get myself together. I almost fell out. Phew. Okay. I kept walking, and I looked up and I noticed I was almost at the promised land, my favorite hangout spot, the bookstore. As I approached the store, I noticed all of the lights were out. And I know what time they open. They open at 11 a.m., but it was 11:05, and it looked like no one was there. I checked my phone again to see what time it was, and it rang, and I answered. "Hello? Who is this?" There was nothing. It was silence again. And as I listened closely, I noticed I could hear rain in the background. And again, the heavy breathing. Whoever it was, I knew they were outside just like me. Come on, I need the store to open up quick. Just then, I heard the door creak open, and Mr. Dave came out.
"Hey, Chill. I didn't think I'd see you or anyone today because of the weather. Come on in while I go in the basement and try to get these lights working. The storm knocked the power out. Do you know what you're looking for?
Yep, I know what I wanted today. Just the same book.
Okay. Well, feel free to look while I go down in the basement and try to start this generator.
I take my cell phone out to use the light and look for my book. Where is it? With so much mystery and so many thrillers to read, where does a girl look? Although I'm going through a bit of a horror mystery myself. Just then, Mr. Dave startled me. I almost dropped my book.
Chill. Did you bring anyone with you? Your friend nearly gave me a heart attack. I was coming out the basement with my flashlight and I saw a guy with a yellow jacket standing at the top of the stairs. I searched the whole store for him, but he's gone.
I didn't have anyone with me. You saw me by myself. That sounds like the guy I saw earlier standing on my block. Oh my God, did he follow me? Mr. Dave said,
I hope you found your book.
I told him I did. Then he said,
Good, because I'm closing. That's enough excitement for me today. You can put the book on your tab and we'll talk later.
He told me that while he was walking me to the door.
Are you okay getting home? Because I can give you a ride.
Part of me wanted to take that ride, but my strong will and the fact that I don't really know Mr. Dave like that, I had to deny the ride. Besides, his store is a public place, and maybe that man was looking for a Dr. Seuss book for his kids or something. No, I'm okay. I got it, Mr. Dave. So Mr. Dave said,
What in the world is this stain on my doorknob? And it's sticky.
He put his hands to the flashlight, and it was red. And I looked at the floor behind him, and it was a trail of red footsteps all through the store. Mr. Dave decided to follow them, and I decided, although I wanted my popcorn and M&Ms, I gave up on that and headed straight home. I looked left, and I looked right, and I saw nothing. I don't think it took me 5 minutes to get back to my block. I didn't see the strange man anymore, so I just thought everything was like a strange coincidence. I heard an alarm going off, and I realized it was my house. I figured I must have said it wrong, because I have done that before. And the doors were still closed and locked. All the windows were shut. But wait a minute. Wouldn't the cops have shown up or called to make sure it was okay? I went into my house and cut the alarm off, and I looked at my phone. Out of curiosity, I decided to call that number back. And while it was ringing, you wouldn't believe this, but I could hear the ringtone inside of my house. Oh nah, I ran towards the door, and just then, the tall man busted out of my closet and I screamed. I closed my eyes and I probably fainted. He cut the lights on and started laughing. Surprise! It's me! I finally got you. Payback is a mother. The figure took off its wet, dark, terrible-looking wig and fake beard, and it was Swag and her little sister on her shoulders. I was livid. So Swag had the nerve to say to me, "What's wrong with you, girl? I thought you liked scary stuff. This is payback from the little trick you played on me at school with a certain boy who shall remain nameless, Dante." I do like scary stuff, but goodness, are you trying to give me a heart attack? Just then, all of my girls started coming out from all directions of my house with gifts and decorations. Needless to say, I almost cried, fainted, and thought this was my final day on earth, when in actuality, today was the best birthday ever. I got a good scare, my adrenaline was pumping, but wait a minute. I asked them, why did you mess up Mr. Dave's bookstore with all that what looked like strawberry syrup? And then Swag said to me, "What? We never came to the bookstore?" Oh OMG.